It is now 7 p.m. and I'd like to call to order the September 17th, 2019 business meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Aldine Independent School District. At this time, we will have the presentations of colors will be done by Garcia Middle School. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
You may be seated. We will now have the ethics statement by Mr. Paul Shanklin.
Good evening. The board has adopted an ethics statement that affirms our commitment to ethical conduct. The statement is, the Board of Trustees is committed to and shall perform its duties ethically and according to our core beliefs. We will model the highest standards of conduct. We will ensure that no personal value system or personal goal interferes with our duty as public servants. The public interest shall be the principle which guides this board in its deliberations and decisions.
So we extend a warm welcome to everyone present. We're pleased that you joined us tonight, and we will celebrate the achievements, review information, and make policy decisions related to the effective operation of the Aldine School District. I would like to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight. And let the minutes reflect that all board members are present except Patricia Bourgeois. And I see that we have visitors in the audience tonight. And if you have comments to the board, and if you have not filled out the audience participation form in the brochure next to the agenda sheets outside, please do so at this time and give it to Ms. Laura. The board will listen under item 16 on the agenda, open forum for the patrons desiring to be heard. Item 6 on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Do we have a motion?
I move that the minutes of the special call meeting on August the 19th and of the regular meeting and executive session on August the 20th, 2019 be approved as printed.
And do I have a second?
I second.
Then we'll begin the vote with Dr. Viola Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Meade, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
And the motion carries. And now we'll have the tax rate, the adoption of the tax rate for the 2019 calendar year.
Good evening, Mr. Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board. I have several items to discuss. In accordance with section 44.004 of the Texas Education Code, we conducted a budget and proposed tax rate hearing on June 24th, 2019. Proper notification of that hearing was posted and advertised in the newspaper, and the hearing was open for public comments. There are also copies of the June tax notice on the front table if anyone would like one. At that June meeting, the board was presented with a proposed budget of $647,928,349 for the 2019-2020 school year. This represents an overall increase of 13% from the 2018-2019 budget. The board adopted that proposed budget at that time. At the June meeting, A proposed tax rate hearing was also held. Tonight, we would like to set the 2019 tax rate for Aldine Independent School District. I have placed in front of you a statement of the 2019 appraisal roll. The statement indicates the total certified and uncertified appraisal value of all property is $28,971,281,322. And the taxable certified and uncertified value of all property is $21,322,574,319. In order for the district to maintain and oversee the public schools in the Aldine Independent School District, to pay the outstanding bonds in the succeeding year, and any other lawful purposes, it is necessary for the district to set a tax rate. As you know, from this year's legislative session, Aldine's maintenance and operations tax rate was reduced from $1.13388 to $1.044615. The $1.044615 is the state-required compressed tax rate that I am requesting the board to set for the 2019 tax year. Additionally, I am proposing the board set the tax rate of 0.3025 cents for the interest and sinking fund for the 2019 tax year. The total tax rate of $1.347115 is proposed for the 2019 tax year. This rate is 8.87 cents lower than our current tax rate. In June, each board member was given a copy of the notice that appeared in the Houston Chronicle. The notice indicated these proposed tax rates. Does the board have any questions about our taxable value or the tax rates I have recommended?
Board members, no questions.
If you have no questions, then I would like to recommend that the board approve the resolution and ordinance fixing and levying school district ad valorem taxes and approve the certified tax roll.
Board members, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I move we adopt a total tax rate of $1.347115 for the 2019 tax year, which consists of 0.3025 cents for the interest and sinking fund and $1.044615 for maintenance and operation.
Do I have-
Garcia seconds.
We'll begin the vote with Ms. Avalos.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Mead, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
And the motion carries. Dr. Tamika Alfred Stevens, thank
Okay.
you.
The adoption of the 2019 tax rate satisfies the requirements set out in section 44.004 of the Texas Education Code. Mr. Mead, members of the board, this concludes my part of the meeting for the Board of Trustees for the purpose of discussing the budget and adopting the 2019 tax rate.
Okay. We will now adjourn the meeting to adopt the 2019 tax rate. It is 7:08 p.m.
Thank you.
We will resume our regular board meeting. Dr. Booker, do we have any correspondence to be read tonight?
Mr. President, we have no correspondence to be read on tonight.
And next we have Spotlight of Teaching, Learning, and Leading, Dr. Todd Davis and Ms. Katie Rohde.
All right, good evening, Mr. Mead, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board. We are here as part of our continued coordination between the school's office and the Office of Teaching and Learning. We would like to recognize several individuals as part of our monthly recognitions entitled Teaching, Learning, and Leading, where we honor the efforts of students, teachers, staff, and leaders who are going above and beyond and have demonstrated excellence in the areas of teaching, learning, and leading. To begin with, I would like to call up Mr. Ricardo Pequeño, Assistant Principal at Vardaman EC Pre-K K. So Mr. Pequeño is being recognized as part of our Leading series for his leadership on his campus at Vardaman, as well as around the district. Mr. Pequeño has developed several digital tools and practices that have saved leaders and teachers a great deal of time and effort. He has not only shared this with the staff at Vardaman, but also freely shares this with all the primary principals and assistant principals. These tools include PLC punctuality and attendance tracker. I need to check that out. Digital profile cards, virtual building maps, virtual classroom visits, and a lot more. An elementary principal who has worked with him previously from Orange Grove said this about Mr. Pequeño. Mr. Pequeño is an extraordinary person. This is one of many occasions he has been willing to share what he does and what he knows. I met him while we were both RTI teachers, and he always tries to make things easy for all of his peers. Thank you, Mr. Pequeño, for being such a great peer to all of us. And from Dr. Christina Gomez, the school assistant superintendent who recommended Mr. Pequeño for this. Mr. Pequeño has created a multitude of tools that have streamlined campus processes. He reached out to colleagues and offered to share his tools, train them, and provide assistance with adapting the tools to meet the unique needs of his campus. Thank you, Mr. Pequeño, for your leadership here in Aldine. And of course, I do have to brag that I did hire Mr. Pequeño many years ago, and I'm very proud. And I should have also said, if you were on Twitter yesterday, I was going to ask him to bring his guitar. So next time, he did serenade the staff at Vardaman yesterday as part of the Hispanic Heritage Month, but it is an honor and privilege to be recognizing you this evening.
Congratulations. Okay, for our next group, I have a large group that we're going to be recognizing tonight. For the past 2 years, we've been fortunate to have the district convocation to motivate our staff and to kick off the school year with great energy and enthusiasm. One of the highlights of the convocation is always our student performance. Our students are certainly the stars of the show, and we're always amazed by their incredible talent. However, the opportunity for our students to shine would not be possible without the creativity and tireless dedication of many Aldine staff members. The staff members behind the scenes who produce the performances work long hours for many months to create storylines, choreograph dance routines, compose music, direct countless rehearsals, and they never seek the spotlight or any type of recognition. Their work is all about making certain that our students excel and shine. And here they come. Yay! I'm so glad to see you all. Well, I'm excited to say tonight that we're turning the spotlight on them, and we've invited the creative minds behind the convocation performances to join us tonight so that we could introduce them and provide honor and recognition that they deserve for serving our Aldine students and helping entertain all of our staff and motivate us in Aldine ISD. So tonight is their night to shine. So I would like to begin. I'm going to introduce you and ask you to come join me. So I'd like to start with Sarita Salinas and Brianna McCrae. Sarita and Brianna are responsible for choreographing all the dance routines. They're from Carver High School. You want to join us up here? And it's also important to note that the entire story design originated with Miss Salinas and her creativity. So we're very, very appreciative of that. Yes, it took a team. It starts somewhere, though. It does take a team. That's right. Next, we have Rashonda Jones and Jabari Collins from Carver High School. Did Jabari, was he able to make it? No. Ms. Jones is the lead of the Carver Theater Program, very talented program, and with her and Mr. Collins, yes. develop the storyline and led all the theatrical presentations. Next, we have Mr. Jose Diaz, the esteemed band director from MacArthur High School. Congratulations. Now, I want to just take note, Mr. Diaz composed, let me get this right. Hold on, I have my notes here. He composed, arranged, and directed, and when I say composed all the music for the convocation. Very impressive. We appreciate all of that. All your hard work. Next, we have Mr. Michael McCullough from Carver High School, who has led our outstanding mariachi group. Thank you for being here. Not only is he directed, but also participated in our mariachi ensemble. So we're very thankful for that. Thank you. Next, we have, and I hope everyone was worried about the weather, Melissa Deitman. Yay, is here. Melissa's from Drew. Megan Truson, I was afraid she wasn't able to make it. Lori Shones from Garcia, and Mr. Freeman, Daryl Freeman from Davis. Melissa, Megan, Lori, and Daryl, they are a huge help in directing all the choral ensembles, leading all the choirs that have participated in the convocation. Couldn't do it without you. Next, we have Courtney Holiday from Drew. Yay. Courtney served as the rehearsal. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. The rehearsal accompanist. I will say this. Thank you. That's exactly right. And and played the piano for the entire convocation production. Thank you very much. Next, we have Barbara Sullivan from Garcia. This is a new addition to the team. Barbara led the Aldine Cardio team from Garcia Middle School. And we also had Ashley Mitchell from Eisenhower High School, and Shannon, she was a surprise, along with Shannon Williams. We're so blessed that when we walk in to the convocation, we have cheerleaders greeting us and just really, really bring everyone's spirits up. And we really appreciate them for organizing all the cheerleaders and making sure that we are all in good spirits when we enter. And last but not least, we have Mr. Refugio Rodriguez, who's our director of performing arts, and Mr. Rodriguez does all things administrative. The finances, the food, the buses, the rehearsal settings, all of that couldn't happen without Mr. Rodriguez. And so, as you all can see, it takes a very talented, creative, collaborative team to put on the magnificent performances that we have every year. And just on behalf of everyone in Aldine, we just want to thank you for all of the time and hard work that you put in to make our students shine. So thank you very, very much.
Oh, absolutely. But I think it's this way, please. Look this way, please. I know. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, very true. They're so talented.
Next. Okay, next on the presentation of our program, Ms. Letitia Faley.
Mr. Mead, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board. I would first like to recognize our students from Garcia Middle School for presenting the colors and leading the pledges for today's meeting. The cadets are led by Mr. Jimmy Lugo. Thank you for joining us tonight. We also recognize our student performers. On your way this evening, you heard sounds from Carver's String Orchestra, where Mr. Michael McCullough, who just came up earlier, is the director. Thank you and your students for providing such beautiful music.
Yes.
Mr. McCullough, did you want to introduce the students?
Thank you and good evening, everybody.
This performance you heard earlier this evening could not happen without the support of all the parents that we have in our organization. I want to give them credit and acknowledgement for all the hard work they put in to make sure our students are part of our program. I'd like to introduce our quartet tonight. On cello, we have Miss Stephanie Aguilar, senior. On viola, we have Jacqueline Cardenas. On viola, Mr. Christian King. And on violin, Sir Kristen Turner. And they're one of 77 that we have. They're awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good job.
Amazing.
Thank you. We will start this evening with our recognitions. Here at Aldine ISD, we appreciate the support we get from our business and community partners. The first partner we would like to recognize is Amazon. The company has been actively involved in the district in ways that benefit our students. From the Title I Department, Ms. Alonda Jacks-Moorhead and Nancy Gaucher will come up to share how Amazon has continued to support Aldine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tonight we have Miss Courtney, Miss Courtney Guidry, if you could come up. The Title I Department would like to present this certificate of recognition to Ms. Courtney Guidry here to represent Amazon this evening. Amazon has been a signature sponsor for the past 2 years, donating over $17,000. This year, Amazon provided 10 volunteers with 10 man-hours, helping to set up stuff over 1,200 backpacks, a volunteer team that came out and helped us the day of the event. Amazon has truly been an asset to all of our families in Aldine ISD. This year alone, we were able to impact over 1,200 families from the donations that Amazon was able to give us this year. We would like to say thank you, and if you would accept this certificate of recognition.
Thank you, Amazon. I actually got to see them while they were packaging up the backpacks that day. They were actually having a little competition amongst themselves. That was fun. Our next recognition is directed to Aldine ISD and the board. Community partners from the YMCA, Drew Gutierrez, Jose Rivera, and Eric Walski would like to recognize the board for the partnership with Aldine ISD over the past year. Mr. Gutierrez, Mr. Rivera, and Mr. Walski, please come forward. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, members of the board. Good to be back in Aldine today. Just here to say thank you and introduce a young man that's been around for a little while. We happened to steal him away from another organization that we're not going to mention, but he's joined us over at Aldine Greens Point. We've set a real bar, real high for him, and we're hoping he's going to get us back on track. Also, I'm going to introduce Eric Walski, who's going to present you with a small token of our appreciation. Eric is the one that spearheads our campaign for the Aldine Greens Point YMCA. Thank you so much.
Members of the board, my name is Eric Walski. I'm representing the Aldine Greens Point YMCA, and on behalf of the YMCA and all the children and all the families that are affected by the services that we provide through your generous donations, we'd like to present this kind of collection, if you will, of pictures of the different programs. I'll show this to the audience as well. And if I may approach the board and present this, is a little bit different. Most people out here are getting awards so far today, but I'm giving this one this way.
And as everybody's settling in, I just want to say I'm excited to be back, and our work can't be done without the partnership and collaborations through partners such as Aldine ISD, and we're truly grateful, and we're really looking to expand this work as we move forward. As you heard, the bar is set high, and that's what our families deserve. So I just want to make sure that I recognize that, and it's going to be through partnerships and collaborations, such as our unique one and amazing one with Aldine ISD. So thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful words of appreciation and recognition. Dr. Goffney and the board will announce the next recognition. They would like to present some items to Mr. John Ware, who is the Stovall Middle School Band Director. Mr. Ware, please come forward.
Good.
Well, other than serving on the board, I've been with the Office Club for about 20 years or better. And we used to be a real big part of the Special Olympics at the old Aldine High School, the stadium. And Mr. Ware was there all the time with the music and helping us out. And the kids love him. And he's done such a great job. And I was the other day, I was out looking at an antique place. And as I went through there, I found some records. And I've done this a couple of times, and I've got some albums from 1968 and 69, 70, 71, and 71 and 72. And this shows pictures of the band at that time. Donnie Drawhorn was the principal, and Karen Johnson was the director. So I just thought for history, for your library there, that you might like these. So I would like to present these to you.
Thank you, everyone, and we appreciate the recognition. And thank you, Aldine, for your support of the performing arts. You guys are amazing. I love to work in Aldine. This is an awesome place. Thank you.
Our employee recognitions are up next. Several departments have submitted names this evening. First, Mr. Juan Vargas, Director of Buildings and Properties, will present the Building of the Month. Juan?
Good evening, President Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, members of the board, and all in attendance, members of the community. It's my pleasure to come before you and recognize our Building of the Month for September 2019. I would like to introduce Ms. Berlin James, head custodian, and Ms. Karen Wilkerson, principal at Stellick Elementary School. I would like for them to join me.
It's nice.
Stellick Elementary has been working diligently as a team to provide a clean environment for the students to learn, ensuring the Stellick is going to the extra mile. A look in space, head custodian Berlin James and her staff, and Stellick custodian staff working very hard together under the leadership of the principal and all the team. Now, they provide a pleasant environment for all students to succeed, which is important and which we appreciate as a community and as a members of Aldine ISD. Ms. James has been working as a custodian in Aldine for 20 years and has been a head custodian for the last 11 years. We thank Ms. James, her staff, Principal Wilkinson for the leadership on behalf of Buildings and Property. It's my pleasure to present Stellick Elementary, the Building of the Month Award for September 2019. Congratulations. Well,
better be in the
She says stay.
Oh.
Facebook.
Dana Sheffield, Executive Director of Child Nutrition Services, will now announce the team of the month. Dana?
Good evening, President Mead, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa. Child Nutrition is pleased to announce its Team of the Month, Avalos P-TECH High School. This new and unique school has provided an opportunity for 2 child nutrition individuals who hold the title of lead specialist and specialist to manage and operate a cafeteria along with support from a great supervisor. Since the school population is starting with approximately 125 students, the number of staff needed is only 2. As the school gains population next year, increased staff and a manager will be added. Maria Sanchez Garcia, lead specialist, and Clara Batiste, specialist, have performed with exceptional results that involve setting up a new kitchen, office, and serving area. And if you haven't seen it, it's absolutely beautiful. They also have had to learn nutritional and serving requirements for a high school menu, as well as merchandising standards, specific recipes, and operation procedures. Daily, they demonstrate outstanding customer service and put forth effort to welcome all students. Their work performance truly demonstrates a culture of food and service. Congratulations to this outstanding duo. Supervisor for Avalos P-TECH High School is Patrick Ona. Child Nutrition also extends appreciation to Principal Diana DePillar for much support. I'm not sure if she's here this evening. Congratulations, team.
Stacy Smith, Director of Special Programs, will present 7 grants the district has received from Donors Choose, Pets in the Classroom, and Just Keep Living Foundation. Stacy?
Good evening, President Mead, board members, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, administrative leadership, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to report on recent grant awards. Will Susan Rehan, principal of Escamilla Elementary, and Brittany King please come forward? Joining them would be Ben Ibata, principal of Blanson CTE High School, and Kristen Busacia, and Marcy Strahan, principal of Hall Center for Learning. If you'll please come forward. So Brittany's students are practicing their reading through listening and phonics using phones that allow them to hear their own voice as they read along with other students. Then Kristen is providing literature on a variety of topics for her students' career interests. And at their campus, they have 17 possible careers that they can pursue. So she's providing literature from current trends in technology, construction, manufacturing, and health and human services for her students. Marcy Strahan is providing her students with a restorative practices room to build healthy communities, increasing social capital, decreasing crime and antisocial behavior, repairing and restoring relationships. And all 3 of these were funded through Donors Choose in the amount of $3,593. Congratulations. And will Dr. Rebecca Sanford, principal of Hambrick Middle School, and Carlos Diaz, Sade Kelly, and Stephen Posada please come forward? Carlos is utilizing comic books that bring to life characters of diverse backgrounds and abilities that students can relate to and engage readers, and also young adult books as well. And we were speaking earlier, and he said his students were very excited about it, so they're enjoying it. Miss Kelly's not here today, but she was able to get some equipment for her students and to participate in volleyball and different activities. And then Stephen's students have a new member of the classroom. It's a dragon, but don't worry, it's a bearded dragon. For his students to study the ecosystem and how the flow of energy works in the food chain. And so he said his students are enjoying the bearded dragon. I don't know that the other teachers are excited about the live crickets nearby, but they're enjoying it. So combined, they were awarded $1,119. And will Miss Patricia Ross, principal of Carver High School, please come forward? And she has company with her. Oh, Cynthia Davis Cook. I know that name well. And Monica Caldwell. Well, the first thing I have to say is, all right, all right, all right. Carver is making a commitment to the health and well-being of the students by providing them with fitness and wellness programs and the opportunity to learn about body and mind connection. The Just Keep Living Foundation was founded by Camilla and Matthew McConaughey and their commitment to support student health. And unfortunately, he does not teach the classes. He's busy in Austin teaching his theater class at UT. But, but they received a grant for $30,000 from the Just Keep Living Foundation to provide these mental health and mental activities for the students at Carver. So congratulations to you. And the total award for amounts this evening is $34,712.
We have a few reminders. National Hispanic Heritage Month runs September 15th through October 15th. Mes de la Herencia Hispana celebrates a diverse group of people that trace their roots to Spain and other Spanish-speaking countries in North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. Hispanic and Latino Americans can have European, African, Asian, and indigenous ancestry. We hope everyone learns about the various cultures, customs, traditions, and history of Hispanics. Para mi gente les digo, siéntense orgullosos de sus raíces. Be proud of your roots.
Thank you. Thank you.
We also would like to remind everyone that College Fair will take place on September 30th at the M.O. Campbell Educational Center from 6 to 8 p.m. We will have more than 100 universities, colleges, military, and trade school representatives present to talk with middle and high school students and their families. Mr. Mead, that completes our report. Up next, we have Denise Keaton, Coordinator of Student Financial Aid. She will be presenting tonight's program.
Good evening, Mr. Mead, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chappa, members of the board, and members present. I want to give you information this evening about our scholarships for the 18-19 school year, and starting, of course, with the college fair that we have coming up. That's one of our ways to start the school year so that our students know that this is the time to prepare for their senior year. For the 18-19 school year, we had a total of 1,721 scholarships that were received from all of our high school students, with a total of 676 students receiving scholarships. Our total district amount was $47,494,897,000. We had quite a bit of competition this year. Our counselors continued competing to see who could get the most. And on Mondays, I would send out reports. So I'd get a call one Monday and they'd say,
You didn't send the report out. You got to send it out. I'm higher than the other classes are. So our leading campus this year was Davis High School with $13,892,034. Victory was our second, $8,193,888. And Nimitz was our third, $7,084,420. They are already on a roll trying to compete to see who's going to be outstanding and be the best this year. These are some of the highlights we have for the scholarships we received. We have our Aldine Education Foundation Scholarship, 147 students were recognized. From the Aldine Scholarship Fund, we had 135 students, and those are students that will strictly attend Lone Star College. We have Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and this year the Livestock Show and Rodeo changed their format, so they only have one area scholarship that's available, and of that, we had 29 students that were awarded that scholarship. We had Posse Foundation scholarships, where Posse matches students to a variety of Tier 1 schools. We had 3 matches. We had 4 Terry Foundation scholarships, and Terry Foundation pays the remainder of a student's education once their financial aid package has been met. We had 1 student, it was a district employee whose son is attending West Point, and we also have other institutional scholarships from Cornell, Southern Methodist, and also the University of Virginia. As we highlight some of the activities, these are things that help prepare our students in getting ready to leave us and depart. We want to make sure they have money, we have scholarship and financial aid workshops. We have SAT and ACT registration workshops so we can make sure that they are meeting the criteria to attend college. We have college application workshops. Of those, we had 84 classroom visits and cafeteria visits from colleges. We had 29 college financial aid parent nights and student nights and workshops, and that led to 112 financial aid presentations through our senior classrooms. These are some of our highlights. We partnered this year with Project Grad for our financial aid workshops and also the college fair. They came and gave us additional support. We reinstituted the America in Recovery Scholarship, and that is one where the organization looks at students who have been incarcerated, their parents have been incarcerated, or they have had to overcome some very difficult obstacles in their lives, and their minimum GPA, they will not go over a 2.5 GPA for students for this particular scholarship. They are reorganizing this year, and they're going to try and partner more also with our Career and Technology Department so that our students have a work opportunity also through them. The Aldine Leadership Conference, we went to Prairie View this year, and you'll see our students at the college fair in their green and white t-shirts. They are our leaders on the campus, and as they come back from the leadership conference, they come back and talk to students, seniors, encouraging them to complete their college applications, their scholarships, and financial aid. They come to our financial aid workshops and our college workshops to also assist and be supportive of our students. We have the Rising Senior Leadership Conference and also the Prairie View A&M Signing Day, which is combined, and students go up to Prairie View's campus for the signing day for all students who have been admitted to Prairie View A&M University. All of our high school campuses participated in the Decision Day, and this is a commitment for our students who are going to college or the military, saying that we are going to continue our education, so they are receiving recognition on those days. The University of Texas and Texas A&M, we had a college forum, and what this does is we look at our juniors who are going to be looking at going to A&M and also UT, and the representatives come and talk to them about what they need to be preparing as the Apply Texas applications opens up in July of each year. This is the first year we also had the Jacarius Johnson Scholarship. Jacarius Johnson is a student that graduated from Nimitz High School in the 90s. He is a well-known playwright. He actually has plays that come here to Houston, and he wanted to donate and give back to the district. So he has one scholarship that goes strictly to Nimitz students who are in theater arts, and then he also has an Aldine scholarship that goes to any campus. This is also our second year. Mr. Wynn is very, very happy with what has happened with his students, his children, I'm sorry. He has 3 children that graduated from Aldine High School that are all doctors, and he wants to continue to give back because he felt like If it hadn't been for Aldine High School, his kids would not have been where they are now. Our goals for this coming school year, we want to increase the number of students submitting their college applications, and we have already started that this year. We have a number of students that are receiving have already started their applications. One of the universities is going to start giving out acceptance letters by September 15th, which has already passed, is Texas A&M. So they're moving up the dates now of the acceptance letters. So we're looking forward to receiving that information sooner for our students. We're looking at increasing the number of students submitting their FAFSA and also their TAFSFA applications. We're going to look for additional opportunities for our students for scholarships and continue the ones that we have currently funding them, and continue to work collaboratively with our partnerships. We have Emerge program that's new this year. We have the Houston Promise program that's new this year, and we'll also be working with Upward Bound and Talent Search. Thank you.
Okay, the board has had the consent agenda items in their possession for study and discussed them at length in the study session last night. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the consent agenda item to be voted on by the board tonight? If not, do I hear a motion regarding the consent agenda items?
I move that all items under A through I, with the exception of 13, that has been removed on the consent agenda, be approved as printed.
And do I have a second?
Yes, Garcia seconds.
Okay, then we'll begin the vote with Rose Avalos.
Avalos, yes. Shanklin, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Mead, yes.
Booker, yes. Garcia, yes.
And the motion carries. Okay, executive session, let's see here. Yeah. Do I hear a motion regarding the consent agenda items? I did that?
Yes.
Got a second on that? Yeah. Okay. Do I hear a motion regarding the executive session agenda items?
Yes, Mr. Mead. I move that the board approve the proposed termination of probationary contract of Carla Gutierrez, Escamilla Elementary, for abandonment of contract. Render a finding that good cause exists to terminate her contract and authorize the superintendent to issue a notice as discussed in executive session.
And do I have a second?
Esparza, seconds.
And we'll begin the vote with Dr. Viola Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Mead, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Motion carries. Motion item J3C. Okay, I move that. Rose, go ahead, Rose. Sorry.
I move that the board approve the proposed termination of probationary contract of Alan Rodriguez at Teague Middle School for abandonment of contract. Render a finding that good cause exists to terminate his contract and authorize the superintendent to issue notice as discussed in executive session.
I second that.
Second, we'll begin the vote with Rose Avalos.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Mead, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion carries. Kim?
I move that the board approve the proposed termination of probationary contract of Shanita Young at Eisenhower High School for abandonment of contract. Render a finding that good cause exists to terminate her contract and authorize the superintendent to issue notice as discussed in executive session.
Have a second?
I second the motion.
Begin the vote with Dr. Viola Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Mead, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Motion carries.
I move that the board render a finding that good cause did not exist for Lakeisha Stokes, term contract employee at Davis High School, to resign without consent under Section 21.105C of the Texas Education Code, and authorize the superintendent to submit a written complaint for sanctions to SBEC as discussed in executive session.
You have my second, Mr. Mead.
Have a second. We begin the vote with Rose Avalos.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Mead, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Mead, I also move that the board render a finding that good cause did not exist for Bernice Barnett, probationary contract employee at Vines ECPKK School, to resign without consent under Section 21.105C of the Texas Education Code, and authorize the superintendent to submit a written complaint for sanctions to SBEC as discussed in executive session.
Garcia, seconds.
We will begin the vote with Rose Avalos.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I move that the board,
We're voting.
oh, I'm sorry.
The vote stopped at Mr. Shanklin. It was up.
Esparza, yes.
Mead, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion carries.
I move that the board render a finding that good cause did not exist for Clarissa Scott, probationary contract employee at Hambrick Middle School, to resign without consent under Section 21.105C of the Texas Education Code, and authorize the superintendent to submit a written complaint for sanctions to SBEC as discussed in executive session.
Have a second.
I second.
We'll begin the vote with Dr. Viola Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Mead, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Motion carries. And now we'll have the report of the administrative staff, promotions and appointments. Dr. Godfrey, do you have any staff recognitions tonight?
Mr. Mead, Board of Trustees, we have a couple to recognize tonight. We're going to begin with one who could not attend last month, Ms. Karen Daniel Reed, who's a new assistant principal at Lane School. Ms. Karen Daniel Reed has 25 years of experience in the field of education. 6 of those years she spent in Aldine ISD. Ms. Daniel Reed began her career in 1994 as a special education teacher at Key Middle School in Houston ISD. In Aldine, Ms. Daniel Reed has served in the capacity of inclusion coordinator, special education coordinator, GAP teacher, and an administrator. Her goal has been to ensure that all children, no matter how they learn or what their physical condition is, reach their full potential. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Karen Reed for her new role as the assistant principal at Lane School.
Good afternoon to Dr. Goffney, Mr. Mead, Dr. Chopper, and the members of the board. Thank you for this opportunity and inviting me here this evening. I am looking forward to my new journey in my career, my life at this point, and I am just so excited that I just can't even explain. But thank you again, and I would also like to thank I'd like to thank Dale Prilo, my principal, for the opportunity to work with him, and also with Dr. Nguyen. I enjoy working with both of them, and I'm looking good and looking forward to good things in Aldine.
That's it. Love it. Miss Nguyen?
Family?
Oh, your family. And her family, is your family here? That's okay. We're your family, yes.
All right.
Welcome. Next, we'll have Mr. Joshua Van Donsel, who's the new assistant principal at Vanson CTE High School. Mr. Van Donsel has 14 years of experience working in the field of education, all of which he spent at Nimitz High School. Mr. Van Donsel began his career in 2005 as a social studies teacher. He's known for going above and beyond the call of duty, and it's no surprise that Mr. Van Donsel was a Teacher of the Year finalist at Nimitz in 2018. In the classroom, Mr. Van Donsel developed engaging lessons for his students while also taking on leadership roles at the campus. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Joshua Van Donsel, the new assistant principal at Blanton CTE High School.
Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, Mr. Mead, all of the members of the school board, Mr. Ibarra, I just want to thank you for this chance. I owe Aldine so much. I can't say anything more than that. I really appreciate the opportunity to go to such a beautiful campus and work with Mr. Ibarra and the students and the staff over there. everyone asks me if I'm nervous. I truly don't think that I am, but I'm extremely anxious. I just really want to get over there and get to work. And like I said, a sincere thank you. I owe Aldine so much. I actually, the first year, I'm a transplant. I'm from Minnesota, and I moved down here, and I didn't have a home. I don't have family down here. And Aldine was my first family. Aldine made me feel welcome. I always tell the story. I actually met my wife because of Aldine. I found out that me and a friend that we passed our social studies composite test, and so we went out to celebrate, and that's actually how I met my wife. So again, I always Aldine so much.
I love
And
it.
I just want to recognize my beautiful wife, my better half, Myra, and my oldest daughter, Valeria. Again, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Welcome. Congratulations. Congratulations. Next, we'll have Ms. Marsha Willis. She's a new assistant principal at Teague Middle School. For 13 years, Ms. Marsha Willis has worked to ensure students' needs are met while closing the academic gap. Ms. Willis has worked at both Nimitz 9 and Davis High School. Her roles have included serving as a special education teacher, social studies teacher, campus Title I coordinator, instructional coach, and social studies skills specialist. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Willis. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Goffney, Mr. Mead, Dr. Chapa, and all the members of the board. Thank you for the invitation here tonight. I'd like to thank Ms. Mabel Holt and Principal Sonia Hicks. Where did she go? There she is. And also to other members of my admin team, Mr. Joseph and Ms. Glenn, that are here this evening. They've welcomed me with open arms to Teague Middle School. I'd like to mostly thank my family that is here tonight. My mom and dad, thank you so much for all your support and always telling me to reach for the stars. You've always provided me with anything I've ever needed, and I just needed to set my sights and to make a path and get there. Thank you to my husband for all your support from A to Z, good and bad. As you can see now, the wrestling with the kids. To Clara and Lee, thanks for all your support. It's a blessing to have you all in my life. But most importantly, my kids, Logan and Morgan, they're my reason why for everything I do. I keep them first and foremost in everything that comes into my mind and in my heart. And just as I keep them first, I'm going to keep Aldine ISD students first and foremost in everything that I do at Teague Middle School. So thanks again for this opportunity.
She's ready.
She is adorable. She wants to take a picture.
Uh-oh. What's that? Uh-oh. One more.
Dad.
Can't see him. Right.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Ms. Rachel Haller, the new Director of Testing. Ms. Rachel Haller will use her 17 years of experience with Aldine to lead training, administration, and compliance. Mrs. Haller began her career in 2003 at Harris Academy as a language arts teacher until she transitioned to serve as the campus testing coordinator. Before her current position, Mrs. Haller served as the coordinator of assessment, accountability, and school improvement, where she used technology to improve efficiency and accuracy with testing. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Rachel Haller.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mead, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, members of the board. I'm so excited to be here this evening. I'm so excited about the opportunity. I'm looking forward to a successful year of testing and a smooth, successful year of testing. Yes, tonight I brought with me my family and my team is here and I want to introduce them. I'm making them all come up here. Come on. Dawn, where are you, Dawn? You know, you have to come up here for sure. My support at work for good reasons mostly. Dawn Rodriguez tells you just how it is. And Eduardo Juarez, coordinator of assessment, and Camille just coming on as the new director. And then I also have with me my family. Come on up. I have a great support system at home, thankfully. That helps me be so committed to Aldine, which has been great to me. Yes, that's my twin sister, Kim.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. That happened.
Yes.
It's like they happened with you. Oh,
My
goodness.
mom and dad are here, Carolyn and Richard, my brother Dean. This is my husband, Ryan. I call him Mr. Mom. He doesn't like it, but it is what it is. And then my son, Ethan, and my daughter, Katie. So I'm just so thankful to have such a great support system. And I love you all. Thank you. And I am just excited to get going and get this year, continue on. Yep.
We're
Thank you.
excited for you. Twins. There's a twin, but you can't see? Can you see? Yeah. They're twins. Amazing. You can't tell?
Oh, wow.
No. They are twins. They are identical. Like, Ms. Howard, are y'all identical? Are y'all identical? Yeah, okay. Oh, look, hold on. Okay, carry on. We want. That is so weird. Yeah, we have one more celebration. Ms. Camille Maddox. She will serve as our new director of research and program evaluation. Ms. Camille Maddox, she joins the Assessment, Accountability, and School Improvement Department with a focus on compliance, monitoring, program evaluation, and strategic planning. Prior to this role, Ms. Camille Maddox served as a Celero Learning's Shining Early Division. She served in that capacity as a data analyst before quickly advancing to the role of Director of Program Design and Management, where she provided support to more than 30 Head Start organizations and led several ad hoc projects. Welcome to Aldine, Ms. Maddox.
Thank you so much. All right, good evening, everyone. I just want to take the opportunity to thank Dr. Goffney, Mr. Mead, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board for this amazing opportunity. I'm super excited to join Aldine ISD. As I said in a lot of my interviews, I've read up about the school district for a while now and am really looking forward to joining a district that has such an established history of doing outstanding work. And I think this will be the start of a rewarding career here at Aldine. I also want to thank my family who's here tonight. I have my Aunt Janine, my Aunt Maria, and my Aunt Henry. And also want to thank my team as well and invite them to come up again. I also look forward to working with y'all.
She's ready. She's ready to take another picture.
Bundle of energy.
What do you say?
That's a bundle of energy, little girl.
One more. Come on on. Awesome, congratulations. Mr. Maddox, Mr. Maddox. Mr. Mead, that concludes our announcements and celebrations tonight.
You know, your numbers of twos are getting larger each time. You know? Okay, Mr. Shanklin, do we have any board policy revisions or updates?
We happen to have a couple.
Okay,
We
go
have the
ahead.
following committee reports at this time. We're asking approval of local policy update 113 affecting local policies, BBE, BDD, BJCD, CI, COA, COB, CRB, EHBAF, and FNF, second and final reading. Additionally, approval of the annual review of board policy CDA local investment policy. And finally, the approval of revisions to the board policy EIC local academic achievement class ranking on the first and final reading. Therefore, I move that the board approve on second and final reading the local policy update 113 affecting local policies as stated above, and approve the annual review of board policy CDA local investment policy, and approve revisions to the board's policy EIC local on academic achievement class ratings.
I second.
Okay, we'll begin the vote with Rose Avalos.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Mead, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
And the motion carries. Okay, we have this important part here of the meeting. We reviewed and discussed the superintendent's contract recommendation during the superintendent's evaluation and contract conference meeting and executive session. Do we have a motion regarding the superintendent's contract?
I move that the superintendent be given a 1-year extension of her contract with the terms and salary as discussed during executive session.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Then we'll begin the vote with Dr. Viola Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Mead, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
And the motion carries. Now, item 16 is, this is our open forum for patrons desiring to be heard. And this is a portion of the board meeting when the board receives input from our patrons. And each person who addresses the board will have 3 minutes to speak on his or her issue. There is a clock at the podium that will notify you when your 3 minutes are almost up. And because of topic posting requirements of the Open Meetings Act, board members will not answer any questions posed to the board by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented during this time. If you wish to ask questions of the board, you may submit them in writing, addressed to the superintendent's office, and the board may consider them at a subsequent meeting. If you are an employee or employee's representative, please be advised that the grievance policy deadlines are not waived. If you have documents to pass out to the board, please identify those documents. Finally, please be aware that rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period. Please refrain from making comments directed at specific individual employees or students by name to avoid any potential breach of confidentiality. If you have complaints regarding specific individuals, please provide those in writing addressed to the superintendent for her attention. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. And tonight we have one. I can't say the first name. English, two.
Tevin English.
Kevin, okay, I'm sorry.
Tevin English.
Good evening, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, and the rest of the board, and everyone else in attendance. I'm here with my name is Tevin English. I represent the International Union of Painters and Allied Trade, District Council 88 here locally in Houston. We represent members in Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. But what I want to present to the board and hopefully be able to start a deeper conversation. Right now, we have an apprenticeship here locally in Aldine, right here in the district. Our apprenticeship, we're the painters, but we represent painters, drywall, glazers, floor finishers, and trade show hosts. So we're called the construction trades. And so I've heard conversations in Aldine about further expanding students' opportunities after school outside of the traditional college route and taking apprenticeships and trade jobs. And so we've been talking with folks in the district to see how we can assist with that. Our apprenticeship is a 4-year program. The apprentice, it's an earn while you learn. They're working on projects while they're receiving their certifications. And the best thing about it is it's free. And so when the graduates, when the apprentices graduate, they become journeymans. They leave with a 2-year associate's degree. They also leave with a certification in their trade, and they leave debt-free. And so they're earning money while they're learning, and they leave debt-free. And so this is a program that we want to implement here in the city of Houston. We've been working and talking with other districts, but we want to start here. Our facility is located in Aldine. And so in addition to providing these trainings and providing these opportunities for students after school, one thing that one problem that we have is here in the state of Texas, 1 in 13 workers is a construction worker. The state is the second highest and the highest in construction deaths, but we're only the second highest in actual construction jobs. So we're having a higher death rate. One worker dies every 3 days in the state of Texas. And so that's happening because contractors that are building our schools, our hospitals, our public facilities, they're not making sure that their employees have a safe working environment. They're not making sure that their employees are getting paid what they deserve. And so you have problems like that here in the state of Texas. And so we want to have a conversation with Aldine about building a partnership of how we can make those opportunities available in terms of the training. But we also want to talk about how we can ensure that those folks can come back into their own district and work and be safe and be paid what they deserve and have a living wage. And so that's the conversation that we'd like to have further, and we can go from there. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Mead, we have discovered that one of the motion items, J3C, was actually withdrawn on last evening. J3C, that item was withdrawn, and so your vote is null and void.
So noted.
If we could make a note of that in the minutes, that item was
Putting down
withdrawn.
that J3C withdrawn.
Okay.
So there's no vote on that.
So the vote would be null and
Vote will
void.
be void. Okay. Well, after seeing all that and doing all that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Garcia, so moves.
Garcia motion, to have a second?
Booker.
Booker second.
And Booker second, and guess what, Mr. Mead?
You know what, is it her birthday?
I think that's why she's trying to get out early.
Well, let's sing. Can we sing happy birthday to her? I'll start it off.
Yes.
I think Paul will leave.
Paul, go ahead, Paul.
Everybody, you know what? In A. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Booker.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
And many more.
All in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. It is now 8:14.